closing up.
Thank you so much.
It is not Washington, but it has its own charm. Our transmission tower is built right into the hay barn down below. We monitor all the usual communication satellites. Now, come over here, Jimmy, and tell me about this Gideon Peak business. Oh, but first, let's have internal monitoring off and switch Effie on, please.
I'm here, Mr. Director. Internal monitoring is off, as you requested. Your telephone calls are being held, and your tea is almost ready.
Good. This is James DeGiorgio, Effie, one of our cousins from the agency. Go ahead, if you would, please, Jimmy. The Gideon Peak thing.
Well, a couple of years ago, we got involved with an astrophysicist named Professor Bronislaw Gregory. He was developing the prototype of a large dehydrator. The thing was supposed to remove all moisture from the atmosphere. Theoretically, it could kill a hurricane or block a monsoon.
Impressive.
Yes, sir. Well, Professor Gregory was out in California on staff at Gideon Peak conducting experiments on this dehydrator cannon.
Cannon, Mr. DeGiorgio?
Right. Cannon.
Don't be distracted, Jimmy. Go ahead.
The damn dehydrating beam went through things. The lab walls, steel, stone, everything. The crazy gadget dehydrated plants, bushes, and trees. And 2 hikers 3 miles away on the next mountain. Evaporated a lake, too, a whole lake. The thing's incredible.
So, this could be a tremendous boon to mankind, or the perfect weapon.
Exactly, depending on who controls it.
We don't control it?
We did, yes, sir, we did, up until yesterday. And then 7 nuns walked into Gideon Peak at 5 minutes before closing time, and they killed the professor, and they stole it.
Verify, please, Mr. DeGiorgio. You said nuns?
That's right, honey, nuns. People dressed up like nuns. You know what I mean.
And you want us to give you a hand getting it back?
Oh, yes, sir.
What does the president say? Our orders come directly from him, of course.
Right. Well, that's being handled. Jameson's at the White House right now.
If Jameson's already with the president handling this, what brings you to Kentucky?
T.R. Sloane, Mr. Director. We'd like him on this.
Sloane? Impossible. Sloane's on something else.
Oh, he can't be.
Well, I'm afraid he is. Correct, Effie?
Yes, sir, on the Cuba mission. But according to my calculations, he should finish there by tonight.
I see. Thank you, Effie. It appears Mr. Sloane may be free.
Fantastic, I'll tell Washington. And thank you, Mr. Director. And thank you, Effie. Maybe when this thing's all wrapped up, we can, have a little dinner.
Dinner? Mr. DeGiorgio?
I'm afraid not, Jimmy. Effie, why don't we tell Mr. DeGiorgio here a little about your qualifications?
I am an EFI Series 3000 multi-function computer, Mr. DiGiorgio. I occupy 27 square feet and weigh 6½ tons. It would be difficult to join you for dinner, but thank you, Mr. DiGiorgio.
It's a computer.
The voice, of course, is Thomas Sloane's doing.
Ah. We don't have anything like that in Washington.
Well, then, of course, you don't have T.R. Sloane.
¡Alto! ¡Paren a ese hombre! ¡Alto! ¡No dejes que cierre el ascensor! ¡Para abajo! ¡Arriba! ¡Rápido! ¡Lo tenemos atrapado! ¡Vamos, vamos, arriba! ¡Pase, pase, vamos! Lo agarramos. No disparen, lo quiero vivo.
Adiós, muchachos.
Thomas. Oh, hello. You're all right.
Of course I'm all right. I'm surprised you're surprised. There you go, Miss Blessing.
Oh, the missile targeting plans, you recovered them.
Mm-hmm. Put a note in with them and tell Navy intelligence not to keep them in a cookie jar this time.
You must be exhausted. Can I fix you anything? A pick-me-up?
Had one in Cuba, thanks anyway. We sold a Picasso drawing. I like that Picasso drawing.
We got $160,000 for it, Thomas.
I like $160,000.
What happened to your arm?
See if you can book me a flight out of SFO for Vallarta tonight,
Can't,
okay?
Thomas. What happened to your arm?
It's my wrist. I picked up some steel when the safe blew. Can't? Did you just say can't?
The director wants you at Gideon Peak. You better let me have a look at this. It might need stitches.
It has stitches.
Let me have your coat, Thomas. Someone stole a dehydrator from the Gideon Peak Observatory, and the director wants you to get it back. Let me have the tie, too, Thomas.
Miss Blessing, it's my wrist. It's not my arm, it's not my shoulder, it's my wrist. Now, where's the package?
It has a scrambler built into it, just like your last one. That's the blue lever. And the red lever is your automatic erase. And this switch is an interference control, should you want to record in a place which might be bugged. And then there's also this.
Lucite.
It can go through any weapons detector in the world. Unit development says it is gas-fired and completely silent. It has the same muzzle velocity as a Magnum 357. I still think we ought to take a closer look at that wound. Blood poisoning travels straight towards the heart, you know?
It's a very reassuring thought, Miss Blessing, but I'm going to take my wound upstairs and soak it in gin and bitters.
Oh, there's just one more thing, Thomas. The agency believes that the thieves had help from inside, so the director had unit research simulate this correspondence between you and the professor who was killed. It should validate you showing up at the observatory.
What was it the late professor and I were supposedly corresponding about?
The Galileo papers.
The Galileo papers disappeared in '43. The Nazis grabbed them. And they probably burned them in '45 along with the Belgian archives.
Thomas, who would ever know for sure? Now, why don't I come up and familiarize you with the letters while you slip into something else?
Miss Blessing, what I am going to slip into is a sauna.
That's all right, Thomas. My glasses don't fog.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Clausen. The dehydrator is ready, as you specified. The sighting mechanism is mounted, and the solar batteries are fully charged.
Marvelous. Might we have a preview of her speciality?
On what, sir?
This would be acceptable.
Toby?
Would it have the same effect if, say, your van was in front of it?
Through the van, through a brick wall, through the Empire State Building.
Incredible. I believe you and your young ladies are due something. Talk.
Why, thank you, Mr. Clausen. And should you ever need me and my girls again...
You have my word. I shall be delighted to call upon you again. Goodbye.
USA movie T.R. Sloane will continue after these messages.
Hitachi is proud to present the following program. Though they might not look like traditional robots, sophisticated free-flying robots will tackle dangerous jobs in space construction. Equipped with arms and hand attachments, TV cameras, lights, and rockets, these astrobots will be guided by remote control. Astronauts and robots will work in teams through a system called telepresence.
On USA, Monday nights at 10, 9 Central.
We now return to T.R. Sloane, starring Robert Logan.
I left Carmel to keep this appointment, Miss Randall. I hadn't heard the news, and believe me, there's no rush to this. If you want to let this slide for a couple of days, a week, whatever, it's no problem.
No. My uncle invited you here, and we'll try to help.
Okay, sure it's no trouble, huh? Well, tell me something. Did the professor keep his papers here in the observatory?
I don't know. I don't know anything about any Galileo papers, but Uncle Bronislav was a very private man. There were a lot of things he didn't talk about.
Mr. Sloane, I skimmed through your correspondence with our Professor Gregory here. It would, of course, appear in order, but as administrator, and in light of the terrible thing that's just happened, one has to take precautions. Professor Gregory was engaged in highly secret work, you see.
The weather machine, Mr. Drake.
What did you say?
He said weather machine, Armand.
How do you know about that? There was no mention of that in those letters. How do you know about it?
There wasn't? I must have talked to the professor about it on the telephone. Are you an astronomer too, Miss Randall?
No, I'm a 6th grade science teacher. Or I will be when I'm accredited in California. I've been keeping Uncle B's lab notes. Or rather, 2 of us have. Sabina does some and I do some.
That many notes?
That much secrecy. Sabina's his lab assistant. Now that's a thought. Right this way, Mr. Sloane. Sabina? Sabina? Sabina, may I present Mr. Thomas R. Sloane, friend of Uncle B's.
Hello.
Do you know anything about some Galileo papers Uncle B had?
I don't believe so. What are they?
Galileo Galilei's early dissertations on the science of astronomy and mechanics. I recall them from de Wolf's treatise on the motion of planets.
It's possible they're here. I haven't been through everything yet.
Well, they might be at the house. I mean, there was a ton of stuff in the study and upstairs in the attic.
Would that be too much trouble to check, Miss Randall? I could hang in here and help on this end.
Sure. Armand can run me over. Right, Armand?
Why not?
And, don't think I'm not hip as to why you chose the lab over the attic. Thomas R. Sloane.
How would you prefer to do this, Mr. Sloane? We could separate. I could search the lab, you the storeroom. Or whatever.
Let's examine whatever.
Mr. Director. Mr. Director, sir.
Yes?
We just picked up a transmission on the Army intelligence wire, sir. They have found the 7 nuns in Desert Wells, California.
They found them?
What is left of them, sir? Since Gideon Peak is not that far from Desert Wells, shall I alert Thomas?
If anyone alerts him, I will alert him.
Oh.
What is O supposed to mean? As I've said before, Effie, this thing you have for Sloane has to stop. He's just not romantically interested in a 6-ton EFI. I'm telling you this is a friend, Effie. Now, put on that Army transmission.
Yes, sir.
Hello? Yes? Oh, yes. Mr. Sloane. It's a long-distance call for you. You can take it in the professor's office if you wish.
Did you tell him we're discussing astrophysics and the Big Bang Theory?
It's a long-distance call. Hurry. And hurry back.
Thomas, this is the director.
Nothing is to go over your police band at all. We don't want a gang of reporters in here. The bodies will be sent directly to the Army hospital.
Sir, the tow truck is here.
What tow truck? Who ordered it? Never mind. Have it stand by. I might just tow the whole rig back to the base.
You're to stand by. The general may want the van towed to the Army base.
You got it, Mac.
It's horrible.
This is Sloane in Desert Wells, and I've just had a look at your 7 slightly overcooked ladies. I have a LeBlanc chronograph, too, and if you're lucky, you can track the serial number, because that's going to be about all we're going to get. You see, none of the ladies had fingerprints. Judging by the tracks in the rotor wash, the cannon was lifted out by a chopper. And from what I've just seen, I'd guess the entire number has the distinct trademark of an old friend of yours. Or wasn't it you who told me that our people took out Eric Clausen with depth bombs in his submarine off of Nice 2 years ago?
More explosive action with T.R. Sloane after these messages.
Ann McKenzie, interior decorator.
We now return to the USA movie T.R. Sloane.
Yes, I understand. I understand perfectly. Move Toussaint. We have him on Air France, flight 660, Paris to Geneva, and destroy this. And Gupta from Karachi, arriving Pakistan International. When? When? I await news of the Pakistani delegate, and all you give me is excuses. Of course I realize that you don't. This was not a matter of the utmost secrecy. What would I need of you?
A call from the observatory.
Ah, my friend. How are you? What news from Gideon Peak this afternoon? When was this? I see. Give me the gentleman's name, please. Thomas R. Sloane, a dealer in art and antiquities. Thank you. You've been most vigilant.
Nothing. And I had on my $400 contact lenses, too. Without them, I can't tell my mother from the mailman. Anyway, 0 in the Galileo papers. Sorry.
Okay. If you two don't mind, I'd like to stick in here for a couple of days and hope for a break. Is there anyone else you might have mentioned them to? Somebody on the weather machine thing.
No, there was no one else, just the three of us.
Just you two, Drake, and that's it?
Mr. Sloane, I've been searching for you.
Anybody else have a key to the lab, access to his notes?
No, not a soul.
Your problem is solved, Mr. Sloane.
The papers. You found them at the bottom of a parakeet cage.
No. No, you're teasing now. This gentleman just phoned. He was calling for the professor.
And?
Well, he hadn't heard about. Well, he wasn't aware. He wanted to know what disposition he was to make of the Galileo papers.
You're kidding.
He was appraising them as a favor to Professor Gregory, apparently as a preliminary to selling them to you, Mr. Sloane. Isn't that amazing luck?
He didn't perhaps mention wanting to get together?
Well, interestingly enough, yes. He asked me to extend his invitation to you and your party for the weekend.
I guess we shouldn't disappoint him.
Well, this party's willing. How about you?
Oh, no, I better stay here and take care of the professor's things.
Monday. It'll wait till Monday. She'd love to go.
Good. Mr. Drake.
No, I have things to do right here. You three go ahead. But thank you.
Guess I'd better accept then.
All right, I'll move bishop to queen's rook 3.
And king's knight takes queen's bishop.
3 minutes. You have 3 minutes to make the move, Effie. Have the good sense not to shriek at me before I even have the timer set.
Was that a shriek, Mr. Director?
Of course it was a shriek. Don't get snippy with me. You weren't programmed to be snippy. Heaven knows where you get it.
Sorry, sir. Mr. Director?
Mm-hmm?
Thomas is putting a tape through from Gideon Peak.
Oh, Sloane. I'm afraid we'll have to forget this game. Start another when we're finished. Put 'em on.
Hi, team. Hope I'm not interrupting the 8 o'clock frost warnings, but a new kid moved into our block. On the off chance it might be your old playmate, I put this call on tape. Give a listen.
And if you would forgive me the tiny idiosyncrasy of not identifying myself on these most public telephone lines, I will get to the reason I wish to talk with you, Mr. Sloane. I have the Galileo papers.
This is a great shock, Thomas. I thought the man was dead. You're right, of course. It is Eric Clausen. This increases your danger enormously. I sincerely question the wisdom of going off to the desert to meet him as you propose. He's already cost us the lives of 2 top-drawer men, but since you've already made up your mind, let me ask one favor. Do you remember the tracking transmitter unit research made for you? It was a sort of car compass, as I recall. Thomas, I insist you use it. And let me give you some backup.
A Di Napoli town coupe. Yes. You do see it? Excellent. 3 passengers. Yes, marvelous, Janos. At the proper time, make yourself known to Mr. Sloane. He's expecting it. And then escort him here. And Janos, use your electronic scanner. See if Mr. Sloane is using any device to signal his location. I'll wait. Talk? I believe I'll have a drink before they arrive. Something simple.
Sir?
Yes, Janos. Aha, I'm on frequency. Very well. Your equipment is capable of jamming it. Go ahead. I said jam it, Janos. What? Oh, really, Janos, you're far too sensitive. I meant only... What? How can it be on a frequency beyond our jammer? Very well. Never mind. Perhaps it's already been taken care of. To our visitors, their health, however transient.
More explosive action with T.R. Sloane after these messages. We now return to T.R. Sloane, starring Mackie Cooper.
We've been on more country roads than John Denver. You know, if this guy's trying to get us lost, he's really... What happened to the compass? It was right there on the dash.
Oh, is that what I've been stepping on? It's been on the floor the whole time, I think.
Oh, Thomas, it's wrecked.
Perhaps Armand bumped it accidentally when he helped you with the luggage.
Sure. Accidentally.
Real tough ticket, this place. It'd be a bit sticky if they didn't want to let you in.
We're out.
Mr. Sloane, I am talk.
I think she's going for the Gruyere again.
Salome, shame. Before we discovered our new Gruyere, she was more than happy with quite an ordinary little Roquefort. The beef Wellington was acceptable. The Colombian coffee.
Just terrific, Mr. Clausen.
The dinner was delicious.
Marvelous. I do hope you weren't made uneasy by my little pets. I have an affinity for God's cast-offs. The larger spiders, the vipers. Did I tell you I have over 100 varieties of poisonous snakes here? But I've been thoughtless. Our ladies are fatigued from their arduous motor trip. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to retire to their quarters.
Well, actually, I'd kind of like to see that Galileo stuff before I'm sent to my room.
And so you shall. Tomorrow. Talk. Please, rest well. There's no hurry in the morning. We breakfast in leisurely fashion here.
Good night.
See you in the morning.
Good night, Sabina.
Good night, T.R.
Good night.
Pity about the uncle, wasn't it?
Wasn't it? Were you and the professor good friends?
I was about to ask you that. No, I wasn't. Not really. You?
No. Correspondence. Telephone, that's about it.
Interesting experiment he was working on, no? A weather machine? How magnificent. Do I understand that it's missing?
So they say. I'm not really up on it, unfortunately.
Yes, of course. Exactly the same with me. Nevertheless, I was intrigued by it, or rather, by the potential of the device.
Right. The economic advantages to mankind.
Oh, of course, there. And heaven forbid, its possible uses to our detriment.
Detriment? Really?
It is a dehydrator, after all, isn't it? I suppose if it fell into the wrong hands, it could be used to alter climate. Say, to dry out the air masses over Southeast Asia. To cut off rice production to 800 million Asiatics.
It would give certain economic leverage.
Horrendous thought. There's also another paralyzing possibility. Its use directly on humankind.
People? Use it on people, Mr. Clausen?
Perhaps on a key group. Say the Pentagon, Kremlin. What effect do you think the dehydrator would have on the human body, Mr. Sloane?
I couldn't guess. It's too big a reach.
Oh, come, sir. One can surmise, cannot one? Cannot one theorize, Mr. Sloane?
No, Mr. Clausen. One cannot.
Talk. It's late, sir. Far too late for theories. I apologize for not considering the hour. I do hope you'll forgive me. Mr. Sloane will retire now. Sleep well, sir. My house is your house.
Good night, Mr. Clausen. We'll pick it up in the morning.
I believe everything is in order. Your luggage has been unpacked and put away. The bath is drawn. And of course, you will remember the control panel is next to the bed.
Not bad. The phone, I don't see a phone.
Mr. Clausen's guests usually prefer the privacy, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. T.R. Sloane for the director. I may have some trouble getting this to you. Mr. Clausen and I are doing the spider and the fly number. The only trouble is we're playing in Clausen's web. Clausen's being as cagey as hell, but he's our man. He knows I know, and he seems to like it that way. Clausen's definitely tied in with one of the people from the weather cannon. Maybe Sabina or Chrissy. But I think it's Armin Drake. Now, one of them tagged me to Desert Wells. But it was Armin Drake that passed on the invitation from our spider. So I guess what I'm gonna have to do is just stick in here until I can figure out Clausen's game and track the dehydrator. Or it tracks me.
Ah, you look most comfortable, Mr. Sloane. A good fire, a drink. Excellent. Pardon me for startling you. Perhaps I should have mentioned that the television is closed circuit. I would assume that you switched it on for diversion, however, not for discussion. So may I suggest that you press button number 7 on your console? It opens the door. I guarantee you'll be pleased.
Mr. Clausen, I've read Lady or the Tiger, too. I'll play this hand, thanks.
You mistrust me? Sir, if there's a lack of trust here, it should be on my part, not yours. My sources of information tell me that your father, Thomas R. Sloane II, was quite likely one of the most able and loyal counter-espionage agents this government has ever known. Interestingly enough, he was also an art historian and dealer. The coincidence impresses me.
Because we happen to be in the same business?
Because you are here, sir. And because the Galileo papers are not. They were destroyed with the Belgian archives in 1945. A shocking lack of culture, no. And now I have some business details to conclude, so I'll ring off. Good night. And do try pushing button number 7.
Oh. Do I get a blindfold and a cigarette first? Is this a summary execution or an invitation in for a drink, Mr. Sloane?
Do you have a telephone in your room?
No. Was that a prerequisite?
Faint hope. Come on in.
Thank you. Comfortable house, don't you think? Lovely guest rooms.
Reminds me more of Alcatraz with upgraded carpeting.
You think we're prisoners?
Well, on the other side of that patio wall, there are dogs, guards, electric fences.
Oh, but in here, there's a nice fire, soft light.
You know, and a real terrific set of controls on that panel there. Chuck.
What?
Helicopter. Same thing Clausen used to airlift the dehydrator out of Desert Wells. If you're on Clausen's payroll, I hope you got your severance pay up front.
Clausen's payroll? I report to Washington just like you.
More explosive action with T.R. Sloane after these messages.
You know, whenever we senior Americans get together, the subject of health care is sure to come up, and costs are skyrocketing. Now, friends, if you think Medicare is the answer, listen to this. Today, Medicare pays less than half of the average health care bill. Less than half. You're responsible for the rest. That means a stay in a hospital could cost thousands of dollars out of your own pocket. Let me ask you something. You know what a deductible is, or a co-payment? Well, that's the part of the bills you pay yourself. And they've been raised every single year since 1968. The deductible that started at $40 is now over $300. And you could pay that for 1 day in the hospital. Now, I know it's scary, but fortunately, I've got a great solution. So get pencil and paper for a very important phone number, and I'll tell you about it. It's the original Medicare insurance supplement from Union Fidelity Life Insurance Company. I'm sold on it. Look, it pays direct to you, not to the doctor or the hospital, unless that's what you want. And it pays regardless of any other coverage you have, including Medicare. And it guarantees to match your Medicare hospital increases dollar for dollar every time they go up. And best of all, if you're 65 or over, you can't be turned down for any reason. So get the Medicare insurance supplement that's already helping to protect thousands of senior Americans across the country. This information kit explains it all, and it's yours absolutely free when you dial our toll-free number. There is no obligation. So do yourself a favor. Call right now. At this time in your life, you really deserve peace of mind.
Take Danny Thomas's advice and call for this important information today. Call toll-free 1-800-228-5678. That's 1-800-228-5678, or write to Danny Thomas, Trevose, PA 19049.
This is Advanced Dream Away, an incredible weight loss plan that actually helps burn away fat while you sleep.
I lost over 20 pounds.
I not only lost weight with Dream Away, I kept it off.
And Dream Away has some documented results that are absolutely astounding.
I even had an intestinal bypass to lose weight. It didn't work, but the Dream Away did.
Just take Advanced Dream Away before going to bed, and you can wake up feeling slimmer and looking better than you did before. Try Advanced Dream Away for 30 days. If you don't see results that you would have thought impossible, return the unused portion for a full refund. Now you can dream away those extra pounds.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-453-9900 or send $19.95 plus $3 shipping to Advanced Dream Away, Box 5500, Phoenix, Arizona. But for COD and credit card orders, call 1-800-453-9900 now.
We now return to the USA movie T.R. Sloane.
There goes Clausen. He's probably got the weather cannon with him. I'm stuck with God's little cast-offs. Why didn't you tell me you were with us?
The agency didn't want me to. I was to cover your back if you got into trouble.
My back? Are you sure they said back? Whoops. It's occupied.
Ah, there you are. I'm afraid I shall miss the end of this little encounter, but I shall soon be out of transmission range.
Oh, that's too bad. Maybe you can catch us on reruns. You got the weather cannon, right?
I do. Yes. And you will want to know why.
Well, believe me, Mr. Clausen, I couldn't sleep tonight without a hint.
In time, I shall construct the cannon full size, as was the professor's intention. However, in the meantime, we will content ourselves with the destruction of the through a single, quite magnificent stroke. We will...
Clausen? Damn. Rare, medium, or well done? Get the briefcase.
Oh, shoot! My hair's sopping. But just slip me a note under the table. I had no idea you were interested.
Come on, check it out.
What, now? With me in a towel?
Leave it if you
wait,
want.
Wait, my contacts.
Come on.
Okay. Or a bathrobe, anything. TR, a blanket even.
Never mind. I think this is what we're looking for.
All right, hold it. Get your hands up.
your hands on your head. Come on down from there.
Open it. Open the gate.
You heard him do it! Quick, before he kills me!
We'll follow. At a discreet distance, of course.
You know, I don't get it. What do you mean you're not certain about her? She's with the agency, isn't she?
No, Sabina Dorfman is definitely with the agency, yes.
And why the holdback? Why didn't somebody tell me she was one of ours? She reports to your friend DeGiorgio, doesn't she?
You just sent your own ball halfway to Connecticut, Thomas. You are the red.
Not my game.
Miss Dorfman reports to Clark. He is her control. Unfortunately, Jimmy suspects that Clark may be a double agent.
Well, if her control is suspect, so is she.
Unfortunately.
Back to three possibles again. Chrissy, Sabina, and Drake. That was a very nice shot.
Not bad, was it? I'll walk you to your ball.
No need.
I can use the exercise. There's something else you're going to be even more irritated about.
What's that?
That guard you brought back from Palm Springs. He was in reasonably good shape when you handed him over to Section 3?
Reasonably good. We gave him a tranquilizer to keep him in line, but he was fine.
That's it. I love it. Turn, turn. Let's see some profile now. Smile. Yes, that's it. That's a look. I want it. Great.
Hello.
Hi.
I was looking for a ball, and I thought this might be a nice place to start.
Will this do?
Well, to tell you the truth, I was thinking of something more in blue. But This will be fine. Thank you.
That shot turned out better than we thought.
It did, didn't it?
Who gave the injection to the guard, Thomas?
Sabina. Well, I held him. Why?
He's dead. 2 small puncture wounds to the base of the throat.
Okay, then you better check with your interrogation personnel because it didn't happen while we had him. Now, what about the papers I pulled out of Clausen's incinerator? If your guys blew that too...
No, we're working on it.
And Clausen? Anything from research section?
Clausen is very close to Rosakis. And von Stegnitz. And Mario Agnorelli.
Those are heavy money people.
They're all partnered in an organization called Cartel. That's Cartel with a K.
We're getting it. We're almost there.
Thomas, these are powerful men. Munitions manufacturers.
You have a pencil and paper? You know, I don't know how all this ties in, but you can bet it has something to do with that list of names. Henri, s'il vous plaît.
Another cassis, Mr. Sloane?
No, seulement ça.
Oh, certainement, monsieur. Crystal Rodre. Very good. And the vintage?
1969. La même chose pour le caviar.
Talk. You may proceed.
It's your opinion, then, that they think of the dehydrator as a death ray, and not as a weather controller?
For now, anyway.
Telephone, sir. At the bar, inside.
For me? They asked for me by name?
I believe, sir. They asked for the more mature of the 2 distinguished gentlemen on the lawn, and closest to the most beautiful woman.
Ah! You see, Thomas?
Well, the best I could do under the circumstances.
You've been in the act. It worked.
Say, Salome. Now. Yes, talk. Salome says. Now.
The Toyota Camry gives you a lot to love. Front-wheel drive and the most trouble-free new car you can buy. Generous 5-passenger room for the family and the most trouble-free new car. And that's why driveways all over America are filling up with new Toyota Camrys, the most trouble-free new car you can buy.
Who could ask for anything more, Toyota?
I love our modern advances. Remember those antiperspirants we used to use? That went on wet, sticky. Then came Real, the advanced antiperspirant system. The top is soft. The antiperspirant is smooth, yet totally dry. Not a drop of water. You smooth it on. The perfect solution. The real solution that feels out of this world.
The future is real. The advanced antiperspirant system you smooth on. Real antiperspirant.
By Nen.
If you think you can never wear Lee press-on nails because of the active things you do, try these. Active length Lee press-on nails. Easy to put on as natural length, as flattering as glamour length Lee press-on nails, but in a length that beautifies active hands. Active length Lee press-on nails. Beautiful, yet sturdy enough to use over and over. They take your favorite polish so well, they're almost impossible to chip. Active women press on. Lee active length press-on nails.
Terror waits in the wings for a Broadway star.
I don't pay you to upset my fans. You don't even know your fans.
Sometimes fame has a double edge.
Hilda!
James Garner, Maureen Stapleton, and Lauren Bacall.
Everything I did for you.
The Fan on the USA Movie. Sunday afternoon at 1/12 Central.
Every day, 350 tons of paper leaves this mill and heads straight for your desk as memos, reports, newspapers, magazines, all the byproducts of the information explosion. Fortunately, some of this paper is also used to print the Wall Street Journal. At the Journal, more than 400 reporters and editors sift through all the information that could be useful to you and your career. And then they present it to you, each business day, in the Journal's mercifully concise format. There's an important lesson to be learned from all this. Information isn't power. Knowing where to find it is.
Call 800-527-9800 for this special introductory offer. 13 weeks for just $29.50 with a money-back guarantee. 13 weeks, $29.50. Phone 800-527-9800 now for the Wall Street Journal.
We now return to T.R. Sloane, starring Robert Logan.
You wouldn't believe the change in a human face, Thomas.
I'd believe. I saw it in the desert, remember? ×7. Was he on Clausen's list?
No. Unfortunately, that might have made some sense. What doesn't track is stealing a big, complicated, secret device, murdering the inventor and the people who stole it, and using it on a Swiss policeman.
A policeman?
He was a Colonel Shell, Chief of Security, Swiss Special Forces.
What's the head of Swiss security doing in Los Angeles? Dead.
Wish I could tell you.
What's the range?
Infinite.
All right, we know what it can do. What can't it do? What can stop it?
The beam? Nothing we know of. Set on infinity, that's where it reaches. Through everything.
You say it works off of solar power, sunshine. That's the reason Gregory built it on the mountaintop, and that's the reason Clausen had it in Palm Springs.
But do we know that Clausen had it in Palm Springs? I mean, did the guard tell you, or the investigation team?
The investigation team is still trying to pry a python out of a bathtub, and the guard isn't going to tell anybody anything. You see, they found him with 2 tiny little holes in his throat right here, and he's definitely...
Dead? He's dead?
That's the word I was looking for.
Thomas, it's for you.
Excuse me.
Do you think it was one of your agents?
Or one of us. Thanks.
I require some information, please.
Yes?
I will need to know the number of persons on your charter, sir. For the meals on the crossing?
What time may we expect to reach Lucerne, my dear?
11 o'clock, sir.
Is the cargo space pressurized?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. My technicians will travel there. Just the 3 of us will travel forward with you.
The three are. Yes, the three.
And I do hope you have an ample supply of Gruyere on board.
Yes, sir.
And it turns out, Thomas, that we just may have connected the diplomats in your list to our dead Colonel Shell. That connection is the World Disarmament Council. The men are all subordinates to the official delegates of their countries. Section 4 was able to reconstruct a note in the Colonel's briefcase. A time and a date. The time was 1400 hours, 2 o'clock. The date was 3 days from now. This could be the date of the meeting, Thomas. The Colonel was in charge of security. Apparently their security was breached by Clausen, and Colonel Shell was about to find out. The problem facing us now is that we have absolutely no idea where the summit is to come off. Our American delegate has already left, and the others are pledged to absolute secrecy, so I'm afraid the rest is up to you. The Disarmament Council is attempting to eliminate war, and with that dehydrator, Cartel is in an excellent position to eliminate the Council and put its own men on it. I don't have to tell you how concerned the President is.
TR.
Hi.
Hi. How'd you find the house?
Followed a trail of cookie crumbs.
Oh.
No, Drake told me.
Would you like to come in?
Mm-hmm. It would be nice. Thanks.
Well, I'm glad you came.
So am I. I would give your After 5 look a solid 10. Got a big evening ahead?
Oh, big evening. Little house on the prairie in front of my 12-inch black and white. Did I fix you something? Gin and bitters?
No, I gotta get rolling. You left before I had a chance to say goodbye. I'm leaving in the morning.
Back to Carmel and your Picassos, I suppose.
No, Switzerland and frostbite. Nice house.
Switzerland. Why Switzerland?
That's where Clausen's gonna be.
Your phone call told you that?
My phone call told me that Clausen's gonna make a move against the World Disarmament Council. The Switzerland part I got from Clausen himself.
I think I missed a chapter somewhere, TR.
The dinner with Clausen, the Gruyere. It's made by one family in Switzerland, the Zollerns. They live in a little village called Herzen. Now, Anton and I have been friends for years. Clausen said he heard about them just about a month ago. He stopped by there 3 or 4 times. Remember that?
Sure, but how does Cheese tell you about Clausen and the council?
Well, if you're Clausen and you're going to wage war on peace, you tend to business, right?
Right.
Now, if you can take time off to whip over to Herzen for a chunk of cheese, Herzen can't be too far from where the action is. Verstehen Sie?
Yeah, right.
That's where I'll be, too.
That is fantastic. You really stop him, won't you?
With a little help from you.
Me? How?
It's easy. You work for him, Chris. You can tell me where to look.
I what?
You work for him. Let me diagram it for you. You wear contacts, you say, because you can't tell the difference between the mailman and your mom without them, right? At Clausen's, when I kicked in the door, you didn't think I was a meter reader. You recognized me.
Of course. I was wearing them.
You were wearing them. Then why'd you need the case? You had on a little towel and even less fingernail polish. Yet the only thing you grabbed for was your contacts case. Not your jewelry, your purse, just that case.
So?
It makes a fellow wonder. So I looked.
You looked in my contacts case.
That's right.
What'd you find?
Why don't you tell me?
Better yet. Why don't I show you?
That's exactly what I found. Cute little things, huh? Leaves 2 puncture wounds. Just like a snake. Do you suppose that's why Clausen thought him up?
Let go of my wrist!
What's in it for you, Chris? The mortar and rocket concession? Money?
Sure, money. More money than I've seen in my whole life. Now we have the dehydrator. And in 3 days, when every member of the Disarmament Council has been eliminated, the new council will consist entirely of cartel's men. And peace will be whatever the world's largest munitions combine says it is. How about that for ironic?
Not bad. I would give it an A for irony and an F for probability.
Oh, who's gonna stop it? You? You're one phone call, Thomas R. Sloane. I drop a dime, and you're dead.
Hold it, Chrissy. Wait. Chris? Chris! Come on, Chris. There's no place to run. There's no place to hide. I'm sorry.
More explosive action with T.R. Sloane after these messages.
You notice it when you don't have hair. You feel a little more self-conscious.
How did I feel when I was first losing my hair? I felt terrible.
These people are not actors, but real people, and balding is a real problem. Now there may be an answer. Dr. Parola, medical doctor at the University of Helsinki, discovered an effective treatment for hair loss for both men and women. Proven to be safe, Dr. Parola says.
It's very safe. It was about 80% success.
The Helsinki formula, now available in the United States, is a simple yet effective shampoo and conditioner. Here's what people are saying about the Helsinki formula.
Out of the 15 years I've been cutting hair, I haven't seen hair come back this way.
This is a photograph of myself about 5 years ago, and you can see the hairline was almost straight across, just about even with the ears. Today, you can see a dramatic difference. A lot of hair all over the front of my head. This is only in 4 months, not over a 5-year period, but in 4 months. All of this hair in this area is new. I actually have something on the front of my head.
The Helsinki formula, I was very, very pleased with what I've gotten back so far.
His hair has been coming in a lot more, and he used to have a hairline that receded quite far back, and we've watched it come forward.
This is being proven. It may be for me. Let's try it. And sure enough, it's worked for me.
The Helsinki formula, researched and tested for 6 years at the University of Helsinki, is just $39.95 for a 3-month supply. For a limited time only, we'll include a bottle of vitamins especially formulated for the hair.
To order by Visa or MasterCard, call toll-free 1-800-453-7700 or send a check or money order payable to Pantron 1 to P.O. Box 48806-U, Los Angeles, California. Include $2 for postage and handling. If it doesn't work for you, the full purchase price will be refunded within 90 days. As a major newspaper said about the Helsinki formula, what have you got to lose that you haven't lost already? Call toll-free 1-800-453-7700.
Richard Micah, Burroughs Corporation.
The computer business is a very fast-moving business. People from DeVry adapt quickly. They have the basic fundamentals to go through our rigorous training program, go out to the field, service our customers, and make them happy. And that's what makes Burroughs happy.
At DeVry Institute of Technology, you learn to make computers work for business, starting from day one.
We need sophisticated people to handle sophisticated equipment. That's why we go to DeVry.
Find out more. Call 1-800-247-7800. DeVry, we're serious about success.
We now return to the USA movie T.R. Sloane.
gate 3.
Thanks, Sandy. Make sure you have her in by 11 every night.
They held the plane up a half hour. He must be somebody important. How'd we do?
We bombed. The Swiss have completely rejected our warning. They think it's some kind of a scheme to delay the talks.
Obviously, they're not impressed with the King Tut lookalike.
May I take your coat and case, Mr. Sloane?
And my wallet, and my watch, and my keys, and... No, you can't take my coat. Thank you very much.
Anything else, sir? Maybe a drink before takeoff?
Yeah, a couple of cassis would be nice. And do you think you could find it in your heart? Drop Occupe and a couple of seats up in the lounge for later?
More than happily.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Okay, it would have to be an isolated inn or a hotel where they'd have complete security and be within, say, an hour of right here, Hertzen.
Thomas, I've been thinking about Chrissy. We don't know that she didn't make a phone call. She had plenty of time after you saw her listening in. And Clausen could have people waiting for us in Geneva right now.
Possible.
Howdy.
Hi.
How you folks doing this evening?
Fine. You?
Oh, I just couldn't be better. Say, this first class isn't too shabby, is it? Excuse me. Do you mind if I said a second? They might not boot me out if I'm talking to someone who belongs here, you know?
It's all right.
Thanks. Everyone down in coach is either asleep or watching that movie. Yeah, some comedy. If it'd been a Clint Eastwood movie, I'd have stayed. You and your wife planning your trip, are you?
That's right.
You know, I already seen 12 states through a bus window. And now here I am on a 747 going to Switzerland. Ain't that a kick?
It's a kick.
Boy, that airport security's something else, isn't it? Made me take off my watch and everything. They looking for weapons, you suppose?
Listen, while you're here, why don't I order you a drink? And there's some magazines right over there.
Oh, no. Thanks, but no thanks. No, I don't personally think all that security means beans. I mean, a man could get a weapon on board easy if he's a mind to.
Is that right?
Well, sure. But first he'd have to have some sort of contact with somebody on the flight crew, you know, like the pilot. Or perhaps the stewardess. That one. Her name is Ilse Landers, incidentally.
Sabina.
Ilse. All the passengers taken care of.
All asleep.
Good. Then I'll see you below. Mr. Clausen sends his regrets.
What about the girl, Thomas? She was in on it, too.
Shame, isn't it? Get the briefcase, Sabina.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching Geneva. Our captain asks that you make certain your seatbelts are fastened for your safety. And no smoking, please.
Excellent, Werner. You did magnificently.
All these hotels are too small for the conference, Thomas. The telephones were busy at this last one.
How about a 7-foot giant with electric hand? He'd be hard to miss, wouldn't he?
I spoke to the managers. No one has seen him.
The place with the busy telephones, where is it?
That was that one right there.
Move divine.
Right location, right cast.
Thomas, tell me something. What does Clausen need with a weather cannon when he's got that?
Well, if this is where he's staying, then how far can the conference be? We've checked every road except one.
That was the one the soldiers blocked, remember? They said there had been an avalanche.
They said. I didn't see an avalanche. Did you see an avalanche? Listen, if the army's blocking their road, the slopes are probably clear. Might be time to break out the skis. hotel.
Looks like a monastery, Thomas.
Yeah, but catch that guest list. The French ambassador and the vice premier of China. It's either the peace conference or one terrific supermarket opening. Huh.
What do you see, Thomas?
Road. It's apparently wide open. Clausen could get that cannon in there with a truck or even a chopper. Direct line of sight. Can't be more than a mile and a half to the monastery.
Oh, no problem for the dehydrator.
It's a chip shot. Hey, Sabina. Didn't we pass a glass factory back there just outside of Hertzen?
So he's in the dining room, Thomas.
And how about Torque and all the others?
Torque, yes, and the others I didn't see. Thomas, tell me something. What are you planning to do?
I'm planning to stop them. That's what I'm planning. Look, if we don't, who will? There's nobody listening to us. They all think we're trying to monkey wrench the disarmament conference. I'm gonna give it a shot. What's the worst thing that can happen?
Torque can kill you.
That's a good point. If he doesn't, and I can get Clausen one-on-one, we can shut this whole thing down right here tonight. Just keep the car running, passenger door open, and a nice rum toddy on the dash. See you in a jiff. I'll bet you're waiting for me to drop the other shoe. Well, let me clue you. I'm gonna drop it tomorrow, when you and Godzilla there try to use a dehydrator on the monastery. Or right now, if you like. You pick the place. An alley, an Alp. Name it. Talk. Tomorrow, Clausen. I'll be there. He had troops in the kitchen, but I think we got his attention.
More explosive action with T.R. Sloane after these messages.
If you think you can never wear Lee press-on nails because of the active things you do, try these. Active length Lee press-on nails. Easy to put on as natural length, as flattering as glamour length Lee press-on nails, but in a length that beautifies active hands. Active length Lee press-on nails. Beautiful, yet sturdy enough to use over and over. They take your favorite polish so well, they're almost impossible to chip. Active women press-on. Lee active length press-on nails.
Hello, I'm Brian Tracy, president of TeleSuccess Corporation. 10 years ago, I was a high school dropout, broke and deeply in debt. Today, I'm a millionaire because I finally learned how to make money by uncovering the secrets of success of all self-made millionaires. Now I've revealed them all in this audio and video cassette program, the 21 key qualities that have enabled me and thousands of others to become millionaires starting from nothing. A quick phone call will bring you this program, 20 years of research into hundreds of self-made millionaires. I'll show you what to do right now to put yourself onto the fast track in your own life and start you moving ahead rapidly toward achieving your own dreams of wealth and success. You'll learn the key qualities of success and the importance of setting specific goals, how to manage your time, and I'll show you the one quality you must develop if you want to be successful. Over 40,000 men and women become millionaires every year. And if you do what they do, you'll be successful too. And nothing can stop you. I guarantee it.
Thousands have paid up to $500 to attend Brian Tracy's seminars, but now the secrets of success can be yours through these audio cassettes and workbook for only $14.95. Or on VHS or beta video programs, including the audio cassettes and workbook for only $29.95. If you're not completely satisfied with the program, simply return it, and it costs you nothing.
This exciting program will inform and inspire you to rise to heights of success and achievement beyond anything you yet experienced. I've been there, I've done it, so can you.
To order, call the number on your screen or write to this address.
How far do your kids have to go when they need information in a hurry?
I better get to the library before it closes.
If he only had the new Encyclopedia Britannica at home, he wouldn't have to go through all this. He could be learning right now about science, art, medicine. A 2-volume index makes subjects easy to find, and thousands of illustrations bring them to life. The new Encyclopedia Britannica. It's your key to the information age. But they can't use it if they can't get to it. Call this toll-free number for a free booklet on Britannica. Plus, receive your first copy of Britannica World Data Annual. It's free from Britannica Home Library Service when you acquire Britannica. Preview Britannica and receive free this 3-volume desk reference set. Call today, 1-800-USA-1000 for your free booklet and details on how to receive this handsome 3-volume desk reference set. The booklet is free, and so is the call.
We now return to the USA movie T.R. Sloane.
Beautiful. We're not going to have any static from the police or the army.
Static? No static, Mr. Sloane. It's a ski patrol on my friends. It is up there now, on the mountain, the place you chose. The most unusual piece of work ever done by August Inman.
Herr Inman, thank you. I don't know how you did it on such short notice.
Mr. Sloane, with 24 hours and your checkbook, anything is possible.
Absolutely sure?
Yes, sir. Absolutely. No one is following, and our men are watching this road very carefully.
He will come, you realize. He's announced his intention. Understand me talk. The next hour is absolutely critical. There must be no errors, no lapses. Mr. Sloane and his theatrics must not be allowed to divert us. That was his intention, of course. His reason for assaulting us last evening. To seduce our attention, to distract us from our greater purpose.
Be sure to double-check that quick release cord. It has to work.
Yes. And I'll compute the angle. You will signal me when you start down.
Just like this.
Oh, Thomas. I'm beginning to be frightened. What if you fall? If you misjudge, the cannon could do anything.
Nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm gonna watch it, huh? You watch it, too. Now get going and don't open the door to any strange men. Bye.
Bye.
What's your degree of slope?
I make it 28 and 3/10.
tenths degrees, Thomas. No. No, I make it 28.4. Yes, 4.
Good. Now you set your elevation guide. Son of a gun.
Solar bank on.
Coming down.
10 seconds.
10 seconds.
3, 2.
Lawson, I hope your tarantula freezes.
It's him.
What did you say? I said, get me out of my way!
He's got a mirror.
How about total this morning?
Nope, today's my Special K day.
To stack up to the vitamin nutrition in one bowl of total, you'd have to eat almost 3 bowls of Special K.
Oh, well, in that case, it's my grape nuts day.
Takes 4 bowls of that.
My shredded wheat day.
12 bowls.
I think I'll quit here.
Whole wheat total has 100% of 9 vitamins and iron. A stack of nutrition in just 1 bowl.
Like I said, it's my total day.
Look at the snow. How'd you get here?
In my front-wheel drive Toyota Corolla.
Look, you brought the whole family. How'd you get here?
In my roomy Toyota Corolla.
Sir, it's a very long way from Death Valley with no gas stations. How'd you get here?
In my economical Toyota Corolla.
Hi, how'd you get here?
Well, I backed out of the driveway, took a left on River Road, heading 5 blocks due north.
The 1986 Toyota Corolla. Now you know how to get there.
Who could ask for anything more? Toyota.
Ann McKenzie, interior decorator for Endust.
Spray wax for everyday cleaning? Why not? Frequent use of Pledge can cause wax buildup. For day-to-day cleaning, Endust is better.
Look, clean with Pledge until you can't pick up any more dirt. But dirt is still there, trapped on the surface by the spray wax. Now spray Endust on the same area. It removes dirt Pledge leaves behind. Endust cleans better. So use spray wax for occasional waxing, but for day-to-day cleaning, Endust cleans better without wax.
The Contour Chair Company wants to give you a big 19-inch color TV free. That's right, I said free. You know, there's nothing more enjoyable than getting cozy in a Contour chair. And now you can relax in style, because Contour is going to give you a big 19-inch color TV free when you purchase any new Contour. Contour's orthopedic design supports every part of your body. Just touch these buttons to put your feet up and nap. Sit and read for hours. Give yourself a marvelous massage, or turn on warm, caressing heat while you watch your wonderful new bonus gift, a free 19-inch color TV. Call this toll-free number so I can mail you this coupon, redeemable for your free 19-inch color TV, plus this Contour chair color catalog. Call now to get everything free by mail. There's absolutely no obligation.
To order, call toll-free 1-800-648-5000, 1-800-648-5000. Call 1-800-648-5000, toll-free 1-800-648-5000.
It's a sports fan's dream come true. USA Sports Fantasy Sweepstakes. Watch college football on USA for your chance to win hundreds of daily prizes, plus the grand prize of a year-round tour for two to the greatest sports events across the USA. Tune in to college football on USA and win your ticket to sports heaven tomorrow live at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Here they come. Jan Michael Vincent, Ernest Borgnine, Airwolf flies again. The special 2-hour premiere, Monday at 8 on USA.
And now, the dramatic conclusion of T.R. Sloane.
You know, it's dark, cold, and 1,000 feet straight down out there. And if you think it's more interesting than what's going on in here...
Why didn't you tell me earlier?
Because I didn't want to wreck dinner. So I guess I wrecked dessert instead.
Why can't somebody else take it back to Washington?
Sabina, we just recovered it. You cannot send a dehydrator parcel post.
And what will they do with it?
Buried in a deep vault if we're lucky. Now, come on over here and join the party.
And you, Thomas? What will you do?
The usual. Travel around. Peddle Rembrandts. Duck the director.
Good luck, Thomas.
Sabina? Come on. Come on. Right here. You know, I am beginning to get a handle on all this. Really. Take tonight, for example. I gave my last tape to the unit courier. The director's going to get my message from Geneva, where he thinks I'm going to be. And I'd say that's good for about 3 hours.
3 hours, huh?
Mm-hmm. Maybe 4. Should we try for 4?
Herr Sloane? Cablegram, Herr Sloane.
There's no way they could have found out this quickly. Tell them they got the wrong room.
Das ist nicht das nichtige Zimmer.
Hi, Torque. How you doing, huh? Missed your dinner. You have killed him. Me? No. I didn't kill him. He killed himself. He had the dehydrator, remember?
He is dead. And now you.
Really? Sabina, the door. Get the hell out of here.
You die.
You're gonna have to pay for that. Let's give the big man a little hand. Maybe I ought to call a desk and ask for a quieter room.
Except the room clerk said they were all booked, remember?
Yeah, but we can't stay here. I mean, look at this place. It is a wreck. Excuse me, folks, but the next show is going to be at 11. Good night.
The furniture's in splinters.
Splinters.
There's snow coming in the window.
That's true. Very true. Lots of snow.
You'd have to be insane.
Totally.
Anne Margaret and Sir John Gielgud star in the bawdy British comedy Joseph Andrews, Monday at noon on the USA Movie.
Coming up next on Alive and Well, we're going to ask this question of you. Would you go to a nudist camp? Take off your clothes is what I'm talking about. We'll talk about it next on Alive and Well.